Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to take you through my no-buy rules. I've already filmed this video once today, but I don't know. I seem to be having a lot of technical difficulties lately and I'm not quite sure how I'm attracting that to myself, but it needs to stop because I'm sick of refilming videos. Today, as I mentioned, I'm going to take you through my no-buy rules. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Cherie. I talk about fragrance on this channel, or fragrance-related products, fragrance-related stuff. And last week I posted a video that I filmed a few weeks ago after a crazy sort of start to January where I basically just bought way too much perfume in the first couple of weeks of January, and I decided that enough was enough. It needed to come to a stop. And so I decided that I would set myself the challenge of a no-buy this year. But before I get into the topic of the video, I just wanted to take a moment to issue a very heartfelt thank you to all of you who left such kind, gentle comments on the video that I uploaded last Wednesday. I wasn't expecting such a wonderful response from people, and it was very touching to read your comments, and particularly for those of you who shared your story about how you've been feeling in 2021, and I'm just very grateful for that. And I found it very comforting to know that of course I'm not alone, and in theory I knew that I wasn't alone in how I was feeling and how I was thinking, but at the same time it just does bring you a little bit of comfort to know that other people are going through that as well. So thank you very much for that. Anyway, let's get into the rules. You might be wondering why I need to set myself rules for a no-buy, because surely a no-buy is pretty simple. You just don't buy anything. And that's true. And particularly in the context of perfume, there is no way that I need to buy any perfume this year. However, I also want to, oh, it's going to start raining now. However, I also want to include a few other things. After I filmed that video a few weeks ago talking about my intent to do a no-buy for 2022, or what was left of 2022, I hadn't really given much thought as to what else I might or might not be buying. And at first I really was just going to limit it to perfume, because that has been the thing that has been my issue over the last several years. I don't really have an issue with clothes or anything like that. I'm pretty minimalist when it comes to clothing, relatively. I definitely don't overspend on a regular basis when it comes to clothes, but perfume is just that thing that I keep just wanting to buy more and more and more. However, I did decide to broaden the scope of the no-buy to more than just perfume. So rule number one for 2022, or what's left of it, I will not be buying any bottles of perfume, any scented candles, or any makeup, skincare, or hair care. Now, the reason I included skincare was because we renovated our bathroom a few months ago, and I had to take all of our stuff out of the bathroom. And it sort of hit me how many samples and travel sizes of things I had that weren't being used. And in the past, you know, we've always traveled a fair bit, so we've always sort of kept these things, but it had occurred to me that we would go away on trips and we would accumulate more of these travel sizes than we used, because we'd get more when we traveled. And you know, these things get replenished every day in a hotel room or whatever, and we weren't using them that quickly. So we'd always come back with more than what we took with us in the first place. So I decided that I would set myself a challenge to use up all of these extra samples and things that I get when I buy perfume or when I buy other products, and all these hotel-sized shampoos, body lotions, etc., just to get rid of it, because we obviously aren't using it and it's all just accumulating, taking up space. So that was my challenge. That was the reason for the skincare. So the way this is going to work is I obviously have things that I use on a daily basis, which are my staple things for my face. And those things I am allowed to replace, or I am allowed to replenish once they run out as long as there's nothing else amongst all of the samples, etc., that can do that job. So there are a few things that I use that are active ingredients that I don't have necessarily samples of, but I do have lots of moisturizing serums and facial moisturizers and things like that that I haven't used up, that are just little sample sachets or whatever. So they will need to be used up before I can replenish a moisturizer or a moisturizing serum or something like that. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It seemed a lot easier when I had the thought. It seemed like it would be a lot easier to explain, but now that I've spoken it, it feels like I made it really convoluted. Anyway, I'm pretty sure you'll get the idea. Basically, I need a rule to make myself use up all of my samples, but I don't want to undo the good work that I feel like I've achieved over the last 6 months or so using a few key ingredients on my face, because that is not the point of the low buy. The low buy isn't a punishment. It's designed to change my habits and my mindset. It's not to ruin my skin or anything like that. However, for things like perfume, I know for a fact that there is no way I'm running out of perfume this year unless, God forbid, something drastic happens to my perfume wardrobe. So there is just, if I run out of a perfume, like let's say for example I run out of Chanel No. 5 Eau Premiere, because that is getting quite low, and it is very likely that I may run out of that this year if I continue to wear it the way I have been the last year or so, then yes, I may run out of that. But I have so many other perfumes that even though I don't have that particular one, I'm just going to have to suck it up and use another one, which is the point really of having a variety of perfumes to choose from, is it not? I am permitted to accept gifts. Obviously, I will have my birthday at some point during the year, and I can tell you right now that is like an oasis in the desert for me right now. So I am allowed to receive gifts. That's not me telling you you need to buy me gifts. That's not it at all. But people that I love and who know me will buy me gifts for my birthday, and if that gift happens to be something fragrance related, then I am permitted to accept said gift, and I will do so happily. Now, gift vouchers and money are two different things. It's unlikely that I'm going to be gifted money. I don't think I've been gifted money for my birthday since, I was a teenager. So that's unlikely to be an issue, but I do often get gift vouchers. If I receive a gift voucher at any time during the year, I am allowed to use it, but I'm only allowed to use it for things that I would have bought anyway. And if said gift voucher is for a store that sells things for which I'm not permitted to buy anything this year, then I just have to wait. Gift vouchers are generally valid for at least 12 months anyway, so it shouldn't be a problem. I just have to wait till next year. Rule number 4, perfume subscriptions, or any subscriptions for that matter. I don't have any beauty related subscriptions other than perfume. I have one, and that is from a company called yuniqu. I like them because I like the range that they have. They have a lot of perfumes that aren't available here in Australia and that I can't get my hands on readily. So I have liked having a subscription to them for that reason. There is a bit of a problem with that for me though. Recently, so when I signed up with them back in 2019, they shipped to pretty much anywhere in the world. So anyone in the world could sign up. Now they've restricted the companies that they will send their subscriptions out to, and Australia is one of those countries that has been cut, mostly due to shipping issues that they've had. However, they have honoured the existing subscriptions that were already in place at the time that they made that decision. So because I've been with them for so long, they have honoured my subscription and have continued to send me my monthly sample of whatever. So my problem is that they do have a pause feature, but I don't know, and maybe I should just contact them, but I don't know if I can pause it for an entire year. That might be pushing it. I think the pause feature is really only designed to like pause it for a month or two. If I cancel it, then that means that I won't ever be able to re-sign again post 2022 when this no buy is over. And I really want to be able to continue to have access to those fragrances because they get new things in all the time. And as I said, they get things that aren't readily available to us here in Australia. So how I think I might handle this is I might allow myself to keep the subscription, but I'm not allowed to open any of the packages until the 1st of January 2023, which is going to make the 1st of January 2023 an awesome day. But yeah, I'm not sure. It's the only way I can think of to get around this conundrum that I have where I can't cancel the subscription because I know I will want it again later. Or maybe I won't, maybe I'll get to the end of this no-buy year and go, I'm done. In which case, great, I can cancel it. But I don't want to cancel it knowing that I might not be able to re-sign and then maybe want to re-sign later. So I'm going to keep that one. But if you have any ideas about how I can better handle this scenario, then please do leave your comments down below. And if there are enough sort of different suggestions, I might pick sort of the top 3 to 5 and run a poll in my community tab, and you can all vote for the one that I should adopt. That could be fun. I might do that. Rule number 5, work-related purchases. So obviously I'm not likely to be making any fragrance, beauty, hair care or skincare related purchases in relation to work. Although if I am required to travel again throughout the year and forget to pack something like a moisturizer or a sunscreen, things that you actually really do need, if I do forget little things like that, then I will be permitted to replace those. Unlikely though, it doesn't look like we're going to be traveling again anytime soon, so probably not even going to be an issue really. However, this channel is monetized and I don't earn a lot from it, obviously. I'm a tiny channel and I earn maybe enough every 2 or 3 months to buy a full bottle of a designer fragrance. And I did consider the option of allowing myself to use a bit of the earnings from the channel throughout the year to buy samples or discovery sets for anything new that's being released that I'm really interested to try. But then when I really thought about it, I realized that I've never really been the type of channel to be talking about the latest and greatest and whatever's new coming out. I've always just been talking about things that I've discovered for whatever reason and I've enjoyed and I've liked and I've purchased. So I have come to the conclusion that no, I'm not allowing myself to buy any samples and discovery sets. And part of the reason for that as well is that I already have boxes and boxes of samples that I really need to get through. And if I'm not going to review them, I need to pass them on to other people. Hopefully this will encourage me to start really digging in and using up what I've already got, which is the point of doing the no-buy. However, I am going to allow myself to purchase some raw ingredients for me to train my nose, because from my perspective, that's an educational aspect and it will help me to do what I'm doing with this channel better. I have kind of given myself, I've got the number of $200 for the year bubbling around in my head, and I don't know if that's an appropriate number or not. It's been a while since I've been on to have a look to see how much various little things cost. I did do a live stream with my friend James months and months and months ago on Instagram, and he gave me some recommendations of things that I could maybe start with if I want to start buying raw ingredients to train my nose a little bit better. And I did look into it at the time, but now I've kind of forgotten. So I think what I'll do is I'll revisit that list. I'll then just make up a budget depending on, what's reasonable. I am also allowed to use some of the earnings from this channel to buy things like filming equipment and things like that. That is not included in the no-buy. I don't often buy new filming stuff anyway. I have bought a few things recently because I want to start making different kinds of videos, and I just don't think lugging a big camera around is really that practical for me, particularly when I've got a dog and a ball and everything like that, usually in tow when I'm going out. So I did buy like another smaller camera to maybe do some outdoorsy kind of filming with. Yeah, otherwise filming equipment's not really a problem for me because I still don't even know how to use this camera properly. I'm still learning. So that's it really. I have 5 rules for my no-buy. I'm actually already kind of in the mindset. So I've been going through, it's been an interesting exercise to go through the process of telling myself I'm not buying anything, because even the last couple of weeks since I made this decision, I've been going through the Facebook groups where they're selling perfumes and stuff, which were always like my undoing, because there was always somebody selling something at a really great price that I knew I wanted or I knew I liked, and so I would just go, oh, what the hell, I'll pick it up. And now I'm sort of going, yeah, I can't, you know, it's kind of weird. I'm sort of already distanced from it a little bit. I go in there and I have a look, but then I'm like, oh, I'm not buying anything. So it's interesting to see what they're selling and, you know, what people are getting rid of, but it's not for me. That's not my bottle. So from that perspective, I'm kind of feeling really good and positive about how this is going to go this year. But, you know, it's early days. It's a bit like starting a new diet or an exercise regime where you're really gung-ho at the start and then suddenly you get a craving for chocolate, or you get sore from a bit of exercise and then you don't want to go anymore. So we'll see. I think I'm still in that first blush of excitement. Anyway, if you have lasted this long, then thank you very much for joining me. And again, thank you so much for your support and your kind words. It really does mean a lot. And before you go, if you feel that I have missed a critical point in my no-buy rules that you feel needs to be addressed, or you feel I need to acknowledge, then I do welcome your suggestions for any other rules in the comments section below, and I may revisit those or I may address them in a future video, and as to whether or not I decided to go with that suggestion or whether I didn't feel I needed to add it to my rules. I honestly don't think I can think of anything else, but I know people can be really creative, so I welcome your thoughts and your suggestions. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.